We have the power!
That was really
Welcome
good.
back to Blockbuster Analysis.
Masters of the Universe edition. You always interrupt me.
I almost interrupted the shit out of you. But yeah, this week we have our editor on break, so we're gonna try out more of these analysis episodes. We obviously did one on Obsession. If you haven't checked that out, please do.
And thank you for all the love on that one.
Yeah, it's been performing quite well. So yeah, we appreciate all the love. Please continue to like, comment, share, etc., etc., and tell us how Sebastian is a ram and not a sheep.
Exactly. But today we're here to talk about how some franchises work on the big screen. Yeah. Now there's not so much.
Well, yeah, precisely. Because Masters of the Universe has only had one other movie, and this is true. This is obviously the start of a new franchise.
Do you think they're gonna have
a new storyline?
Do you think they're gonna have a couple more after this one?
I think they're gonna do at least one more, regardless of how this one performs. But yes, obviously the first one wants to spawn either a spin-off or a sequel.
Honestly, with the direction that this one went, I wouldn't be at all opposed to a little bit more from it.
I agree.
Yeah. I think what immediately, for me, comes to mind of why it was such a pleasurable experience is that it took itself seriously because it was a blockbuster, you know, it was something on the big screen, big actors, big muscles. I say that again. It was on the big screen, it was supposed to be exciting, there was supposed to be CGI explosions, blah, 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 but at the same time, like, the costume design and the way that the characters were acting all wacky and, like, it was
We had a male, one thing I love what this movie did was we had a male hero in a skirt and very revealing clothing. Yeah. And the female was clothed.
Hubba.
The movie kills it. The movie knows what it is. It knows what the franchise is. It lives in the heart of Masters of the Universe. And it lives in the heart of Grayskull.
Yeah, exactly. Where in which the power lies within us.
Exactly.
It's like, when I know I felt the strongest with that, how my sentiment when we saw that first goon of Skeletor's, who was like a pig-looking guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, I love that it's practical, for one, and I love that they're like, kind of walking around.
Skeletor is mostly practical. The skull face is all that is CGI.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I could believe it, yeah.
The blue muscle suit Jared Leto wore on set.
Oh, really?
What they would do is they would just go in the day after and CGI Jared Leto's face. Mm-hmm. But everything else is practical for Skeletor.
And I could tell.
Yeah.
It's very effective, and it's really engaging. It kept me... You're right, I feel like it really knew what it was trying to be, and it felt like it did that well with me, feeling like I was in Eternia.
This movie is super immersive. You really want to be around for the ride. I don't know how to edit these out. Anyways. Sal, when you're watching this, I think I'm going to leave it in, but now I know how you feel. But yeah, back to it. I agree. This movie knows exactly what it's supposed to be. It knows how to please its old fans. It knows how to bring in new fans. Mm-hmm. You weren't as well versed as I am, correct?
Well, it's in the same realm for me as like Power Rangers. When I was growing up, man, I've seen most seasons up until 2012 of Power Rangers several times. I've seen the original Japanese runs of the shows, and in my mind, Dragon Ball Z, Masters of the Universe, Flash Gordon, those are all kind of in the same realm, but some I have more familiarity with others. So I would say this one's kind of like median tier of what I see. Especially with how long it's been and how I haven't seen reruns in my adult life.
Yeah, I interacted a lot with the She-Ra cartoon on Netflix before that got taken down.
Oh.
I love that cartoon. But yeah, even for me, I would say I'm a returning fan rather than a longtime fan. As I definitely fell off for me. I watched it mostly on VHS tapes when I was a child with my father.
Yeah, that's ancient.
Yeah, ancient. So I don't remember much. It's not like Star Wars where it has never not been in my purview. Mm-hmm. But bringing up Star Wars has had several reboots. I would argue The Mandalorian is one of them. So 7 years in between movies. And unfortunately, for at least over here in our little corner of the internet, we really like The Mandalorian and Grogu, but it does seem like it is going to be financially a failure.
The performance of the movie monetarily is also surprising because I feel like I don't know, we were talking about this earlier, but thinking about how this movie is so aware of what it is, like, Mando was campy.
Yeah.
It had fun, especially with the Anzellans, like, that brought so much of it, and
right.
all the other gluffs really brought the idea of the franchise, especially for me as a new viewer, being like, oh, I understand what I'm supposed to be watching
exactly.
right now.
Precisely.
Which is how it felt.
And Masters of the Universe does the exact same thing.
I would agree.
It's interesting to me where the failure is I feel like, and this is why I'm listing the movie as the reboot and not the Mandoverse starting in 2019 with the show as a whole as the reboot. We've been doing live action and animated TV shows pretty consistently since Disney bought Star Wars. So I feel like the TV side of Star Wars has never truly been rebooted. The movie side, we've had 2 since Disney's bought it, with The Force Awakens, which we'll talk about in a minute. But the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, I think its failure comes from the fact that it's trying to reboot something that hasn't officially ended yet. It's trying to rework it. The show is very different from the movie. The movie...
Really?
Oh, yeah. So here's a few of the major differences. The show deals a lot with Mandalore, the planet. Unsurprisingly. Wow. But it deals with the Mandalorian culture as a whole. This movie doesn't really... It didn't do a lot. It didn't do a lot of that.
Yeah, I give us more of the
It
space
tried to
cowboy
draw
western.
in new fans, whereas it didn't do a lot to please the older ones. And that's why I bring that up, because Masters of the Universe knew how to please older fans by being and bringing new ones. Skeletor was a very well characterized, very different from the past.
Yes, I agree. I honestly
as a
love
Jared Leto
Skeletor.
hater, we hate Jared Leto on this channel. Jared Leto is, a figure that we have clowned upon in the past because he's not that good at what he does and somehow still makes tens of millions of dollars that most people will never see in their lifetime.
This is true.
But he did an excellent job somehow.
I think, that really...
He was able to very well go between super edgy and super campy.
Yeah.
And it worked surprisingly well.
I think for me what really works too is the fact that because it's on the big screen now and we have like this, it's MGM budget, Amazon budget, like we gotta make it big, we gotta make Skeletor this sorcerer that, oh no, how are we gonna defeat this magic? So I honestly really liked, especially for a first movie, if we're kind of looking at it in a
We're assuming
lens,
it's a franchise, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's really great to establish him as like this super scary guy with undertones of comedic relief.
He's silly. Yeah.
Where by movie 3 we see Skeletor leaving with a jetpack.
Yeah.
Or on a moped or something, and then he's like, ah.
The world was very well established in the sense of like, yeah, we're a bit ridiculous, we're a bit out there. Eternia is fun, but then we have a place called fuck ass Skullkeep.
Yeah.
And then we have our Prince Adam out here telling people on Earth their first date.
Yeah.
I'm an alien from another planet.
I lost my sword.
I lost my sword.
freaking leg.
I need my sword.
Oh, frick. My parents are gonna kill me. Literally.
Exactly.
Honestly, Skeletor...
And that all, to me, told the audience, the newer fans, what the franchise was about. Whereas, to close off this point that I was trying to make originally, The Mandalorian and Grogu, as much as I enjoyed the movie, and it does do a good job at garnering new fans, it doesn't tell you what the TV show's about.
This is true.
And at least the Masters of the Universe movie told us what the other TV shows are about, because it's the same vibes. They're the same vibes, and it knows what the franchise is great at, and it knows what it isn't good at, and it does a very good job of bringing up its strengths and its weaknesses. Whereas The Mandalorian and Grogu played it incredibly safe.
Yeah.
And
very true.
Is very enjoyable. Very, very enjoyable. Very, very fun. There's nothing wrong with a fun movie. But that leads to the older fans feeling disappointed because...
They're going to the big screen for the first time in a long time.
Exactly. So I believe that is where The Mandalorian and Grogu has gotten its failure, whereas Masters of the Universe has been getting a lot of praise. Unfortunately, as of the time of recording, it has only made $50 million opening weekend.
See,
I do believe we're still going to get a film with She-Ra. Regardless of if that is a sequel or a spin-off, I think will fully depend upon the success of this movie.
Maybe they would go that direction for a second movie, I would imagine that they would be involved in Skeletor's return. Oh well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that post-credit.
Skeletor might not return via an Adora movie, but perhaps if they're going to do a second Masters of the Universe movie, and then they do an Adora movie beforehand, perhaps part of the plot would be Skeletor's revival.
Yeah. And
but
maybe, yeah.
You can't make a Masters of the Universe movie without Skeletor, which is why I think they are fully alluding to his revival, because...
Yeah, I'll have to watch that second one. I never saw that, the second one.
Yeah, it was all the way at the end.
Fuck that.
Yeah, you have to sit through all the credits.
See, you brought up Star Wars, and immediately what came to mind for me when we decided on this topic was the late 2010s, early 2020s, I think.
Yeah, I think
Power
it was
Rangers reboot.
2017.
That movie, I feel like, leaned way too fucking hard into the blockbuster aspect of it. We try to make something where it's people in tights and suits using the power of friendship and colors and teaching you to do the right thing into fucking Mark Wahlberg.
I was correct. It was 2017.
Dude, right on the money. But yeah, like, my problem with that movie was the Power Rangers aren't supernatural people. They're teenagers with attitude. That is exactly...
Damn, I love that.
Some of the earliest shit that they would say. Exactly, the opening of the 1999 Power Rangers when it finally came to America. Fun fact, thanks to Stan Lee. He was like, this stuff's really cool. I want this in America.
It came from Japan, correct?
The first, it's called Tsuranga or something, and like the 1999 is Kyoryo Sentai Tsuranga, which is like not Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but
right,
like the Power Ranger kind of identity, team, people suiting up and fighting bad guys or whatever, started like 1976, I think is the earliest predecessor you can go back.
See.
But like, yeah, it's teenagers with attitude. It's like, you want me to defend Earth from these evil people? It's not, I'm breaking a fucking sink because I touched a power crystal and I'm walking into this underground lair and shit, and fucking Alpha 2's like, hey, what's going on, everybody? It's like, it didn't feel like Power Rangers. It felt like they glossed over Power Rangers by throwing that IP onto a blockbuster, which was annoying.
Yeah. I think one of the most successful franchise reboots in all of history is the MCU.
Yeah, very fair.
Yeah.
So true.
Obviously, we don't have a lot of Marvel movies before 2008's Iron Man, but I would argue Marvel
2003, right? Daredevil,
yeah. Daredevil 2005, which Elektra also came from.
Spider-Man, Elektra, yes.
Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, right? But the MCU brings it all together.
Yeah.
Quite literally nowadays too, where we have explored pretty much every timeline that we can and explained where X movie fits into X universe.
Right.
Or the 2005 Ben Affleck Daredevil movie has been pruned, and so Elektra can appear in The Void in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
But regardless of how we feel about the MCU now, we can't deny that it is the most profitable movie franchise of all time. Box office wise, of course, because you obviously have the aforementioned Star Wars, which is one of the most profitable things ever. And I would argue the MCU has also gotten rebooted post-Avengers when Disney fully took over. As it was
all those
Paramount pretty early on. And Paramount, I think, works on every movie up until Avengers. So Iron Man 3 onwards. Maybe Iron Man 3 is also Paramount. But Iron Man 3 onwards, it's only Disney. I think...
Wow.
If I recall correctly, someone in the comments correct me below, Disney attained the rights in 2009, so that's why there's no...
That early?
Yeah, it was really early.
Wow.
So they are working on them that early, but they're not in full control until after Avengers. Regardless of when that is, I believe that is the MCU's first reboot.
Yeah.
Because I believe, even though we still have the same creative vision, especially now, I believe it has begun to shine. The Disney-fication of both Star Wars and Marvel is very apparent, especially today. Every movie is super safe and doesn't do too much. I think Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts are our most diverse Marvel movies recently, whereas The Force Awakens was just a clone of A New Hope. And that worked in 2015. Playing it super safe worked in 2015. But again, we look at the Mandalorian and Grogu, and playing it safe didn't work this time. Unfortunately, in my opinion. But it does look like by the end of its theatrical run, Mandalorian and Grogu is just not going to foot the bill that Disney wants it to.
Also, I think of like Iron Man and Thor and Captain America, like those first few movies, it felt like something that like even my dad could watch and be like, this is sick, because it was like cool.
They were all different.
Billionaire, rich boy, fucking philanthropist becomes a superhero, and then he grows in that one movie. We see him suit up, we see him take down a bad guy. He feels like a real character.
They weren't afraid to fail. Iron Man 2, one of the MCU's biggest failures.
Yeah, I don't
but
remember
exactly. But they run with it. Every now and then Justin Hammer gets brought up. They don't really talk about Whiplash, but they talk about Hammer Industries and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I think Justin Hammer appears in What If. Like, they don't forget it. They don't just move on.
It also feels like for example, the Ant-Man and the Wasp. It felt like so much was happening, and they're in the quantum realm, and it's, I don't know, like, CGI isn't inherently a problem for me. But
you mean Quantumania?
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
But I can also see how, like, after a certain point, it would, I mean, again, the first Captain America movie, holy shit, that movie fucking rocks.
I mean, the first Avengers are really good. Winter Soldier, really, really good.
Oh my
Iron
God.
Man 3.
Civil War is, like, to this day, like...
Civil War is one of the best Marvel movies to this day.
It's so strong.
It's got to be up there in terms of just movies in general because it's amazing.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more.
To this day, people still debate Team Iron Man or Team Cap.
I mean,
we're not
Jacob. It's like potato.
They're rebooting Harry Potter, which is the next franchise I wanted to bring up. This is the last franchise I wanted to bring up, and why I think the Masters of the Universe movie was. People were excited for it. I've seen a lot of hype around this movie. I see people talking about it online, and again,
we were pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, exactly. Harry Potter is getting rebooted, and I've seen nothing but hate for it.
Aren't they also technically doing more shows or more seasons than there are books?
Yes, they're supposedly doing 10 seasons when there's 7 books.
That's crazy.
We did 8 movies with 7 books, but The Deathly Hallows is a thick fucking book. If you've ever seen that sitting next to the rest of the series, it's like double the length.
Damn.
So it warrants having a second movie. But they don't want to change anything. Some of the shots are shot for shot. They're just fucking darker. Like in the first trailer alone, the sets look exactly the same. The vibes feel exactly the same, just darker.
And different actors.
Yeah, and different actors.
And a show. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't want... Also, the money's going to go to J.K. Rowling. A lot of people don't want to support her because of her beliefs. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to say right now, we hate her here. So we're not J.K. Rowling supporters. I'm not watching the show. I love Harry Potter. I'll just rewatch the movies or reread the books that I have. I'm not watching the show because I don't know who it's for. And
that's another thing.
If you
don't know what your property is for, like, what is the point of putting the resources into it for people to hopefully maybe or may not watch the fucking thing?
Precisely. Masters of the Universe knows there are older fans, but it needs to draw new fans in order to be a profitable movie. Mm-hmm. We have really fun characters like Battle Cat, He-Man. I love that fucking
Fisto.
Cat. Fisto. Literally, dude, Ram Man.
That was so good.
So funny.
Yeah.
Even the goons are fun. Lockjaw, like, he was cool. I like
cool.
the cyborg dude with the one eyeball.
Yeah.
He's cool. The pig man that you mentioned. Mm-hmm. Skeletor. I don't even need to bring up Skeletor. They had to sell Skeletor. I think the franchise knows Skeletor is the best character.
I'm sure they also know, like, between Adam and Skeletor, like, those are some, like, probably arguably the 2 biggest faces.
Precisely. Mm-hmm. Harry Potter, the TV show. Who is this for? Are we trying to bring in new fans? If we're trying to bring in new fans, why does everything look the same? If we're trying to please the old fans,
why does everything
why
look the same?
Why are we doing it again? Because we're already happy. We've already had our cake. We've already ate it. We're already happy. We don't need it to go back. We have
8 cakes.
We have 8 cakes.
That's a lot of cakes.
That's a lot of cakes.
That's a lot of years.
That's so much. Look, as an old fan of the franchise who's been watching these movies, I even watched all 3 Fantastic Beasts, admittedly only one in theaters, and I watched the other 2 when they came to streaming, but as somebody who has supported this franchise, this is my final straw. I can't watch this because I just don't understand who it's for. It's definitely, it can't be for me. And if it's for me, why does it exist?
And
are you trying to get money from me?
If you can't validate why it exists, then like there's going to be no enjoyment. Even if you end up forcing yourself to watch
exactly.
Because then you're just
exactly. I also am not going to give my money to J.K. Rowling if I can help it.
See that I just remember.
But like the costumes are the same. Oh. The actors are a bit different, but like the costumes look exactly the same. The sets look exactly the same. Yes, I believe so. And there is one casting decision. We're not going to talk about it, but there is a lot of implications. And if you saw the casting, I'll say the character. If you saw the casting for Snape, and you know Snape's character and you know Snape's story, you will be severely disgusted. And if you're not, I'm kind of disgusted with the fact you're not disgusted. Personally, I believe you cannot look at Snape's story and believe that casting choice makes sense. And this is just another reason. Like, why are we changing things? We don't need to change things. The Masters of the Universe doesn't really change anything. It makes Neela more badass. Mm-hmm. We can argue for that, which was a great change. It adapts a lot more progressive. Masters of the Universe was always progressive. Come on, some dude in a skirt.
Yeah, and a pink shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. I don't think he wears the pink shirt in the old cartoon, but he does have that last outfit.
The very last one.
The very last outfit, which had a little bit of pink. No, not pink, but like hot pink on it. Magenta, not magenta. It was a hotter pink.
And also,
there'll be an image here.
I mean, yeah. Even speaking of being progressive, like in this newer movie, you know, there might have been some ear perking or some head turnings to, you know, that's what a man does, being He-Man. But also, I feel like in any day and age, it's still good to be like, this is what a man does.
Yes.
For a young boy, for a young man
Precisely.
who wants to feel manly and feel that manlyhood within themselves. I think this was great for that.
And if you don't want to feel manly, I hope we're getting an Adora movie for you. She-Ra is. This is what the franchise does best. She-Ra is perfect for a role model.
Yes,
for
exactly.
girls, whereas He-Man is really good for guys.
Dude, if you want to have a fucking.
And you have all your other fun characters.
Leather skirt and a sword, or if you want a fucking unicorn.
Yeah.
Either or.
This franchise will give it to you. Mm-hmm. And it knows what it wants to give you. And it's really good at being progressive. Whereas the Harry Potter show is forcing itself to be progressive. And not thinking about what it was trying to say originally with the initial casting choices from the movies or the character descriptions from the books. J.K. Rowling wrote a book and a story that isn't diverse. And she's trying to make it diverse all of a sudden. And then also go spout her awful rhetoric online. Mm-hmm. We've all read her tweets.
No, I also...
Masters of the Universe does the complete opposite of that. It's not forcing itself to be anything different. If anything, it is taking what it has already done in the past and tweaking it ever so slightly to match today's version of progressivism.
And also today's standards of motion picture.
Precisely.
You know, having all the... man.
Hell, we even had a cameo from Dolph Lundgren.
And some of those fucking fart scenes, dude. They were so cool.
We had one of my favorite shots from like a superhero type thing.
What was it?
Well, it's a camera sequence. I shouldn't say shot, but a camera sequence. The camera sequence of the final fight with Skeletor, like the beat up.
And the ensemble before that too, where the pirouette with the shooting and then going to fucking Fisto and then ramming. It was so cool.
Very cinematic, very well done. Not really anything that we've seen from the TV shows of this franchise. Oh, so it did a very good, but very, very well done. And honestly, I would argue very unique for 2026 movies.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely it is.
Yes.
A lot of people aren't willing to, again, playing into it. This is He-Man.
Exactly.
What more could He-Man mean other than being, he's the fucking guy.
Yeah.
He's just beating the shit out of Skeletor.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I really loved the camera work.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. But I think that brings us to the end.
We're approaching.
As we have brought up all of these reboots, all of these franchises, we hope, really what we hope you take away from this is, one, you got to watch this movie, but two, there are ways to bring back franchises, there are ways to recontextualize them. In this sense, It's a reboot. It's a recontextualization. This movie is able to achieve a lot and push forward the franchise and the IP that is Masters of the Universe in very productive ways. And not every franchise out there has been able to do that in the past, and other times it's the MCU where it becomes super successful, but is now starting to kind of fizzle out. Same with Star Wars. And other times you're Harry Potter. And Power Rangers.
Mortal Kombat.
Another
pretty good
Mortal,
one. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat's been doing a good job. When you look at the last two movies,
Yeah.
I gotta give this movie an A tier.
I agree.
I'd say the upper half of A tier. It will appear in podcast episodes on that tier list. Once the podcast returns, we'll be back with
Definitely
Toy Story
A tier.
5. Next week, we will be back with Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day.
Oh.
Steven Spielberg's big return to the big screen. But yeah, thanks for tuning in for this one. It's obviously a bit different.
Cheeks.
Yeah. If you want to stick around for a little bit longer, I know Anubis has something special for me.
OMG.
But for those who are not, have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in. And keep talking about movies.
That's the word, in the words of Lester Holt. Good night, America. I just wanted you to battle bracket.
Battle bracket. This will be perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll copy paste it.
Oh,
to
okay. We have. I
You know.
can't say its fucking name.
Oh yeah. So we have Ichigo's Thousand Year Blood War, Shikai,
Yeah.
and then we have Ichigo's Balance Breaker, the
You mean
plasma.
Issei's? Said Ichigo
Yes,
twice.
Issei's Balance Breaker,
Okay.
the plasma
balance.
sword, the power, the sword of power, and then
Wait. Oh, that is the Sword of Power. Okay.
Rengoku's sword with Dawnbreaker,
Dawnbreaker.
and then
Is that a glass sword?
that's Chilrend.
Oh, that's Chilrend specifically. Okay.
You don't know that? That's
No.
Cerberus from Devil May Cry 3. It's nunchucks. They're so
That looks so
fucking
cool.
If you want
All
my
right.
unbiased opinion, Cerberus will win. But it's just go off of vibes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to go off vibes for the last one. I am going to say for the first one, for Ichigo's Shikai. God, I almost said Ichigo say
Ichigo. Oh, yeah.
I can't. Oh my God. Versus the Balance Breaker. Shikai, Balance Breaker. Jesus Christ. There we go. Honestly, in my opinion, DxD scales above Bleach.
Really?
Like, I think some of the feats that I saw in the DxD show were just that immensely powerful.
Fair
And like, we're talking about gods who are destined to battle at all times. Like,
yeah.
and doubling your power at all times. I
This
think
is true.
if Ichigo can't beat
Oh.
Issei immediately,
Yeah,
I
at
think
that time.
Issei will eventually win. So I'm gonna have to give it to the Balance Breaker.
Fair enough.
As for the Sword of Power and the Energy Sword, look, I'm super biased towards Halo, but I gotta give it to the Sword of Power. After all, he has the power.
Mouth fart.
And then Rengoku Sword versus Dawnbreaker. Now
With Rengoku wielding his sword.
with Rengoku wielding it, so
And
our
then
hearts are getting set ablaze.
Let's say Mercer touched the beacon.
Mercer touched the beat. Fuck that guy. While I do think it's a very powerful sword, using the context of the games and the lore of Elder Scrolls, it's not
Probably
that powerful. But since it's Rengoku versus Mercer, Mercer's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
He has done a lot of stupid things in the Elder Scrolls. I gotta give it to Rengoku wielding his blade,
Excellent.
and then Chilrend versus the nunchucks. It's gotta go to the nunchucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one is purely based off vibes. Children's not one of my
super cool,
go-tos.
too. It's like on a keychain too, so one of the moves you can use literally like around the arm.
That's so fucking cool.
It's awesome, dude.
Then the Sword of Power versus the Balance Breaker. I think I once again have to give it to the Balance Breaker.
I would agree.
The Sword of Power is amazing, but it's not the most powerful thing on planet Earth. After all, the power lives inside of Prince Adam. And human is pretty powerful. But
The sword itself is merely a vessel.
exactly. And I think eventually Issei will boost past.
Yeah.
Next, Rengoku versus the nunchucks. God, that's cool. Who would you
fire
give it
versus
to?
ice.
I guess I'll say first, because you're gonna know more about the nunchucks.
Well, the person
And I'm
who
gonna
wields
get
the
hate for
nunchucks
this.
is the descendant of a demon king.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Ironic.
Yeah.
I was gonna give it to the
yeah, I didn't even
nunchucks,
think
though.
about it.
And the reason I'm gonna give it to the nunchucks
I agree.
is, and I'm gonna get hate for this, Rengoku's the weakest Hashira.
He does die first.
He dies first because he's the weakest one.
His
And I know
heart is the
I know what
strongest.
people are gonna say, but Shinobu. Look, Shinobu may not be able to physically decapitate a demon, but if you saw that fight with Upper 2 and thought that she didn't outperform Rengoku, you're just wrong.
Yeah.
She outperformed Rengoku against a higher
Also,
ranking.
he's like one of the new, I mean, other than Muichiro, yeah, like very new. I think like the two newer Hashira at the time or whatever. It's like
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I would also give it to Cerberus.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Cerberus. Now boost Issei's Balance Breaker versus Cerberus.
Well, here's the thing too. The person who wields that has a similar version. Well, not of a balance breaker, but it's a power up.
Yeah.
Or it's called Devil Trigger.
That's so cool.
It looks super cool too. He becomes like his demonic form. He has boosted strength,
Do
boosted speed.
you think?
Well, I mean, with what you said, if Issei can boost enough times, honestly, probably Issei.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say I think because once I saw my God, I'm tripping balls. Once I saw the Balance Breaker, I thought it was gonna go to this, and yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Balance Breaker.
I like it.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in for that little extended bit, and you guys have a good night.